Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really fun video for you. I wanted to do a quick makeup tutorial for those of you who do not have any eyelashes, any eyebrows, any hair. I just wanted to show you how to kind of dress up your face in the middle of your journey. One of the things that I liked to do before any chemo appointment was put on a full face of makeup. I know it seems like a weird thing to do because you just kind of want to lounge around and get your medication, but for me it was something that was a total mental thing for me. I really wanted to dress nicely. I wanted to put on nice shoes. I wanted to put on makeup. I wanted to wear a nice hat or a nice wig, and part of the reason was I felt like if I looked sick, I felt sick. It was a complete mind game for me. So before any chemo appointment, I would go and put on a full face of makeup and dress nicely. And that way I felt a little bit more like I was ready to go out and face the day. And a lot of you might want to just go and relax at your appointment, not worry about those sorts of things, put on some moisturizer, and of course that's fine too. But I just really wanted to share with you a really quick makeup look. I tried to use really minimal products. I think I only used maybe 3 eyeshadows on my eye. And just to kind of show you a quick look, maybe before you go to chemo, before you go to work, and some tips and tricks on how to blend your makeup into your scalp line, and just how to add some eyelashes, because I know I'm still here now about 6 months post chemo and my eyelashes are refusing to grow back. So I wanted to show you a little bit about how to put on eyelashes or just some eyeliner, be able to get up and go and not have to think about it or worry about it. So if you want to see this look right here, just keep watching. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to start by priming my face with the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I'll show it to you with the lid on. Voila! You can tell I really like this stuff. I've already moisturized my face, so I'm just gonna put this on, and I really like to just put it on the outside of my face, really. I'm leaving this part blank right there, and I usually bring it down to my neck just because I like to have a little bit of a glowiness there. Okay, now that that's all rubbed in, I'm going to take a little bit of my Professional and use that just right on my nose and the first part of my cheeks. And that's just because that's where I have the most pores in that area, and we want to kind of fill those pores so it makes it nice and smooth for our makeup. And I usually kind of bring that a little bit under the eyes there. Alright, now that we got that all smoothed in, I'm going to start with my foundation. I've been really into this Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I'm in the color Creamy Vanilla. And what I do is I just kind of squirt a little bit out and I dab it on the cheeks. It's nice because it has a pump on it. And I just kind of put it in little dots all over my face here. And then I take a little bit right here on my neck, just a teeny bit. I like to blend it in. I do self-tan, so I do have self-tanner on right now. I'm trying to put the wrong lid on the wrong thing there. And I'm just going to use my Real Technique sponge. I have wet this already, so it is all ready to go. And I just start dabbing that in there. So now that I'm almost done with this, I wanted to talk a little bit about this. And a lot of you might not have hair. Mine's just coming in. So one of the things that I like to do is I really take that and I blend it into my hairline, especially now since my hair's nice and short and there's not a lot to pay attention to other than, you know, my hairline where it's at. But if you are somebody who does not have any hair, one of the things that I did, and it sounds a little silly, but I self-tanned my head. And the reason why is because it was so white. And for me, you know, if the rest of my body was dark and all my makeup was dark, I didn't want to go out and get a really white makeup or anything like that, because it wouldn't have matched the rest of my body. I self-tanned my head, and then this is where I just take my sponge and I just blended it into my scalp. And that way you could have kind of a seamless effect there, and it wouldn't look, you know, like your face was completely tan and then you have this really bald white head, which is no fun. So that's just one of the suggestions I have. Of course, you're not going to want to go tanning or anything like that. But next I'm going to go in with concealer, and I am pretty obsessed with like the rest of the world with my Tarte Shape Tape. I have this in light, and it is way too light for me. And I found that I just feel like this is really thick, especially if you have dry skin, which you're probably experiencing. I just felt like it really stuck and clung to that dryness there. And I'm 38 years old, so I do have some lines under my eyes, and it just felt like it attracts to that. So I thought, you know what? I accidentally bought this Maybelline Fit Me concealer in medium, which is too dark. And I really like this because it's not something that really makes my lines stand out. So I thought, you know, I really like the both of them. I'm gonna just try to mix them together, and I actually really liked how it turned out. So I'm gonna show you how I do this. And I just kind of draw these lines here, and I don't want too much of this stuff, but I always conceal my eyelids. This is how I prime my eyelids. I do have a primer, but I just find like this is quick and easy, and that's exactly what I wanted this makeup tutorial to be, was something quick and easy. So then I just kind of take and I just dot in between these, and that way I don't have too much of this stuff on, because it definitely is way too thick for me, but I do like a little bit of it. Now I have some imperfections here. I'm just gonna do little dots on, and I like to do little dots underneath my nose so you don't see those little veiny areas there. And a little bit on the tip of my nose to highlight it. I like to start down here on the bottom, and I just use the pointy end of my sponge. All right, now that I have that blended in, I'm going to set that makeup underneath my eye. And the reason why I do this is so that it doesn't crease over time, which I have a really hard time with. Again, I have those fine lines under my eyes, and especially if you're going through chemo and all of that fun stuff, you're really going to have some dry skin, and so you want to try to avoid that from sinking into those lines. Now, I really like to use the RCMA No Color Powder, but I do put it in a different container. Let me show you, sorry, my RCMA No Color Powder. And I put it in this little thing that my friend gave me from Amazon that I just can kind of pop open, and voila, there it is. So I just take my wet beauty blender and I dab it in there, and I get a little bit on the sponge here, and I just dab it right on the under eye, a little bit there. I don't use too much. I don't want too much because I don't want it to look really dry under my under eye. But I do want to set that. So a lot of people will leave this on and bake per se. I don't like to leave it on for a long period of time. So I dab it on there and then I just brush it right off. And this little brush is amazing for that. You'll find that I use a lot of Morphe brushes. This is the Morphe E3. And it's awesome for this. Voila! So the next step that I do is after I put the concealer on my eyes, I like to set it with something that's a little bit skin toned. Now, this is a little bit lighter than my skin tone, but that's okay. And this is Vanilla Bean by Makeup Geek. And I'm going to use this little fluffy brush. This is by Morphe also. It's the R37. And I just kind of brush it over the top of my eyes. Brush it over my eyelid here. And what this will do is will help set the stickiness of that concealer so that we can blend our eyeshadows on just a little bit better that way. All right, and I did want to keep this really simple, so I didn't want to use, I mean, I have a ton of eyeshadows, but I really wanted to keep this simple, something that you might have laying around. And so I have this NYX contour palette, and as you can see, it's quite well used. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of this color right here. Well, if it would focus. So I'm going to take a little bit of this color right here, and I'm taking this with my Sigma E40 brush. I love this brush. If there's one thing I could suggest, it's to get this brush. I love it so much. So what I do is I just barely tap it in right on the tip of the brush, and then I tap off the excess, and I start really lightly. I'm hoping that you can see this. So I just start really lightly dabbing that on my eyelid there. And so I'm just gonna sit here and add to that and keep adding to that. So just a little bit at a time. And I'm not gonna go crazy and push it too far up. I just want to really define my crease there. And once I do that, I just kind of take it and I swirl it because I want to blend it in. I don't want to look like I have a really harsh line right there like I had going on. And so you just want to kind of blend it around. Blend, blend, blend. And then I'm going to take a little bit different brush here. This is the Morphe the M433, and I just kind of dip it back into that product a little bit and a little bit on the side, and then I blend this down right here. And the reason why I do that is I find that if I do it with my big fluffy brush, I tend to extend it too far out here. So this is a little bit easier for me to keep it kind of nice and tight on the eye. So what I do after I bring it down on the lid, I just kind of blend it in with that brush. That way there's no harsh lines there or anything like that. And I didn't go too crazy. So this is the same brush as I was using before, the Sigma E40. It's just that now there's no makeup on it. So I'm just kind of spreading it around and making it look a little bit more diffused. And like I said, I mean, you could do any, you know, brown color. I just figured I would use this because it's nice and easy. I do this a lot before work. And a lot of people have contour colors or bronzing colors sitting around. So it's just kind of fun to just dip your brush into that and work with that. So next what I'm going to use is a shadow by Makeup Geek. It is this one right here. It is Shimma Shimma. It is one of my most favorite shadows that Makeup Geek makes. And I'm just going in with a little flat brush by Morphe. It's the Morphe M224 brush. And I just kind of dip it in there a little bit, and I'm just going to pat it right here from about the center of my eye toward my tear duct. And I just kind of carve out that little spot there. You can use a matte shade here. I just prefer to have a little bit of shimmer. And then I just take a little bit of it and I take it over from my inner corner highlight there. Okay, so now that I got my eyebrows on, I will link a video down below in the description box where I talk about how I do my eyebrows if it's something that you're interested in. I just didn't want to waste the time here making you watch me do them on camera. But next I'm going to come in with Makeup Geek White Lies. That's this one over here in the corner. It's pretty darn white, and I use it very, very sparingly just under my eyebrow for a brow bone highlight. So I'm going to come in here and do this on my mirror here. Hopefully I'm not blocking ya, but I do have quite a bit, so I'm going to tap off some excess, and I just very lightly come underneath that brow there. This is where I want to focus, right underneath the arch of the brow, the most of that color. One of the great things about doing this is you can also hide some of the blemishes that you've done when you do your eyebrows, where you kind of blurred the lines a little bit. Alright, then I take my Sigma E40 brush again, and I just very lightly come through and blend the rest of that out. Alright, that's it for eyeshadow. It's nice and easy. I like it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put on my eyeliner, and I'm using this Tarte So Fine eyeliner in black. I think it's just black. I'm not sure actually, but it's a micro liner, and I'm not sure if they even have this in any other shades, but it's a felt tip, but it is a really fine felt tip. So bear with me here while I do this. So when I'm applying this, for those of you that do not have any eyelashes whatsoever, one thing that I like to do, and I have a lot of bare spots, that's why I wanted to get this video up and recorded so that you could see what I do to try to help cover up those bare spots. But I just go with this really, really close to the lash line, as close as I can get it. And that's what's so great about this, is it's a really fine tip. So you can do a really thin layer and then build it up if you want to, or you can press it down hard and do a thick layer. I like to start out thin and then just add where I want to. So as you can see, I have a lot of bare spots right there. I know it's not completely straight, but I'm gonna show you what I do next. So what I do is I take this retractable eyeliner by Sephora. It's a waterproof liner in matte black. And what I do is I just kind of take it, and I'm gonna try to do this as well as possible. I definitely tightline underneath the eye on the waterline right there. And I try to fill in every single bare spot that I possibly can with this, so it's not something that can be seen as well. No, I'm just leaving a nice rounded eyeliner look. You of course could do a winged liner if you'd like. My eyes are a little bit hooded, so I don't like to do a wing liner. But I'll be right back. I'm gonna finish the other eye. So what I do, once I kind of finish up the eyeliner there, I just go around and I really hug that eyeliner right along the eyelash line again, just because those bald spots definitely show through. So I do that, and then I come along with this eyeliner one more time and just fill in where I've missed, which I did miss a couple little areas here. All right. So now here's the tricky part. For those of you who do not have any eyelashes, sometimes you can just leave it just like this. I have hardly any eyelashes, and I just put on a little teeny bit of mascara and go. A lot of times I do that at work. When I was going to my chemo appointments, I always wanted to have eyelashes. So I am going to glue some on today because this was something that I wanted to show you that you could do prior to going to chemo. So what I do first, I take my lash accelerator. I bought this, it's by Rimmel, and this is in black. Because I thought this was something that would help my eyelashes grow, although nothing's happened yet. I'm actually not sure if it's something that helps your eyelashes grow or if it was just something that makes them look longer. But either way, I've been enjoying the mascara, so I have no problem with that. But I just put on like a little fine layer. Normally, if it was my eyelashes were long, I would curl my eyelashes at this point, but they are nice and short, so I don't really care if they are curled or not. All right, now that I got the mascara on, I'm actually going to be using these Natural Lashes by Ardell. They are the 135 lashes, and these are one of my favorite pairs. And the reason why is because you can see that they're pretty thin. You're not doing anything, it's not thing that's overabundant. Let me kind of show you. Well, these are kind of well used, but you can see these demi wispies. They're pretty thick as opposed to these ones where they're a much more natural look. So that's why I like to choose these, just because I don't have a whole heck of a lot of lashes, and these are more, you know, everyday lashes that I feel like I can wear. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what I do here. Sorry, the light's really bright in my eyes. So I like to take a big glob and just kind of drag it along the eyelash there. For those of you that don't know how to put on eyelashes, I wanted to show you that because you just use a really, really thin line. All right, now that I got my lashes on, I'm gonna work a little bit on the face. So first of all, usually I like to contour. If it's something like I'm going out or anything like that, I will contour my face. But something like an everyday look, I just like to bronze, which I'm going to be using the Benefit Hoola bronzer. I have it here. I depotted it and put it in one of my Z palettes. So it's this color right here, this big square right there. And I'm going to be putting it on with my Morphe 527 brush. So what I do, I like to build it up a little bit. So I just dab a little bit in there and then tap my brush, and then I suck in my cheeks and I just kind of brush it along those edges there. And then I just add more as needed. You just got to be really careful. Like I have it right by some green eyeshadows, and that would not be fun to get on my face. So you just want to kind of do it right near the hollows of your cheeks, and then I just kind of blend it around so I put on my lipstick and I completely forgot to do my under eye. And what I was doing, I was just using my NYX palette, and I'm going into that same color that I put all over the crease. I already did my one eye. I thought I had my record button on, but I didn't. My computer decided to update right in the middle of me recording. So all I'm doing is taking a little bit on that brush, and it's a Morphe M169 brush, and I'm just going in from the corner of my eye all the way to just past the center of my eye. Now I like a pretty thick line underneath for shading, and part of the reason is because I have no lower lashes right now. They are refusing to grow back in, so I'm not putting any mascara down there or anything like that. All I'm coming in all I'm doing is coming in and shading just like that, and that kind of completes the look. And I'm sorry, I don't have any lashes to show you what I would use on my lower lashes, but if you're watching this, you probably don't have very many lashes on the bottom either. Alright, so this is the final look. I really hope you guys learned something today and that you had a really good time watching this. I know I had a lot of fun recording it, and I do have a lot more makeup tutorials that I would like to share with you here on my channel. I know that there's sometimes that you want to just kind of doll it up a little bit more when you're going out, which I'm more than happy to share those tips and tricks with you. I just wanted to keep it simple for today. But with that being said, I really hope that you push that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.